got your attention now, don't I?
This is the Black Rifle Coffee Podcast. Prepare to get caffeinated.
Hey.
What's up?
Black Rifle Coffee Podcast.
That's crazy.
That is very correct.
I love it.
I'm in studio with Jarred today, and I'm actually digging it, you know?
It's comfortable. I mean, we're getting close. Construction will start here soon. We'll go to a better set after this. More lights behind us. Not a lot of red on the wall, which is horrible for the camera, which I didn't know going into this. But
Evan's face light's a little rough on him. It's giving you kind of bags. It's okay.
I think you don't care.
I don't know.
No hair, don't care.
Don't care. I don't care.
No hair, no care.
Oh, he's got hair. He's good.
This is the best we're going to be able to get done because Shits McGillicuddy over here. This is not his forte. You know what I mean?
Oh, Colin, he's not. Yeah,
you can't.
That's all right. He's not. It's not his trade craft.
I mean,
so,
yeah,
but
he is.
Maybe you could hire someone
doing
that
a
it is.
production job, like
No.
or a. Go ahead.
Hey, man, we have people that do this. They're out recreating.
They're recreating. They're
Recreating.
boondoggling, if you will.
I mean, they're slinging some arrows at elks. You know, it's elk season. It's opening. This weekend was opening season for dove in Texas, which I missed. But hey, I was there in theory.
I'm training for a hunt.
What? What kind of hunt?
I have always. This is kind of a little, what do you call those? Like glutton or a secret passion, or what is that called? When you have like a secret thing that you really want to do?
I don't know. It's a little dream. I don't know.
Yeah. I've always wanted to kill a
Guilty
pheasant.
pleasure.
A filthy
Pheasant?
yeah. I always wanted to kill my own pheasant.
Pheasant hunting is really fun.
Because the feathers for your hat.
Oh.
Like I want to procure my own pheasant feathers, and then I'm going to give the rest to Evan to make flies.
You should make a.
Are you thinking? Okay, the pheasants are not the really big blackbirds with white heads.
No, those are bald eagles. You can't shoot those. No one wants to kill a bald eagle.
Don't mistake your pheasant hunting for bald eagle hunting.
You can't go to Alaska to pheasant hunt. That's bald eagle hunting, and that's really
So that's a
illegal.
different bird?
Yeah, that's a totally different bird. Just so you know.
Well, then I'm
Pheasants
going
are
to
like
have
large quail.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to, and they hang out where there's wheat.
Not sure.
I just remember as a kid always seeing a pheasant, come out of the wheat, and then someone would shoot it, like on TV, I think.
I believe there's good pheasant hunting in Texas. I believe. I've never gone pheasant hunting, so I know shit all about it.
I think I have to go to the Midwest where there's wheat.
There's a lot of pheasant hunting here.
In Salt Lake, right? Too? Utah?
I've participated in a lot of pheasant hunting in my past.
So I have a very strict training regimen.
Please define what that is for the audience.
Well, I have to learn how to use a shotgun for a moving target. So there's a lot of
Do you have a training regimen on this, or
yeah. So step 1, get a shotgun.
Oh, that's the best one. That's a good step 1. Step 2.
Step 2, clay shooting.
Yes. Right.
Yes. Then step 3, tennis shooting.
Tennis?
Yeah. So go. Yeah. I saw
shoot tennis balls out of like the launcher.
Well, a guy was showing me on YouTube's that you could go to popular tennis courts and just shoot their balls, because then you don't know where they're going to go.
Okay. I don't think any of this is accurate, but we're going to go with it.
I think
I'll
it prepares me.
Shooting with you.
It prepares me for a pheasant hunt, does it not?
Any aerial moving target that you have to shoot a 12-gauge shotgun at, I think would prepare you in some regard for pheasant hunting.
I don't know how much preparation needs to go into this, to be fair. Like, it's just a stupid fucking bird. You're walking through a field. Your dogs point or flush, depending.
Mm-hmm.
And you level your gun and shoot. Like, it's pretty easy. There's really not a lot of science or training that needs to go into this. Like, you don't need a training regiment. I think it's more of you just need to go out and participate in it.
I am handcuffed to only shooting a pheasant with a slug. Therefore, I need to get good at this.
There we go.
Fuck that bait! Boom!
There we go. I knew there was something there. I knew we'd get
That
there.
would be a hard one. Go pheasant hunting with, like I don't know. What's the really small
I
gauge?
think that's a challenge that we have amongst ourselves. We have to go bird hunting with slugs.
I think that might be illegal.
I think it is. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why they have this shock and shell called bird shot.
Yeah,
it's
but
called
that doesn't
bird
give
shot.
the bird any chance. If we're all going out with slugs, then the birds have an equal chance.
Yeah, then
How
you're
about-
gonna
how about-
vaporize
how
it in
about
the
a
air.
bow and arrow?
Okay, done.
Oh, if you could shoot a bird with a bow, I
Yeah.
would do something crazy.
You would have to do it with a trad bow, I think. You'd have to do it with a traditional bow.
Oh yeah, like a recurve.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
because
think
there's
you
no
can pull it
way
off
you
with a
do it.
compound.
It's like,
There's a lot of math involved in that.
I don't think you're doing it though. I don't think you're getting out your scratch pad and doing the math. I think you're just looking at it from a repetition and physics point of view.
Why do you have a journal out right now? Are you about to write in your journal?
No, I do have a couple things I wanted to remember. That was it.
Oh,
Let's go
concerning
down the list.
podcast? Were you punching walls like Kyle? Your knuckles all bloody.
No, I was fixing my camper and I was turning a wrench. Believe it or not, I know how to turn wrenches.
Wow.
Yeah. And I slipped and banged my knuckle. I was putting the ball back. There's a hitch on my fifth wheel. So I was screwing the ball back onto it because they had taken it off in order to put on a different truck. So that's what I was doing. I did a lot of manual labor today, over the last weekend. We went fishing. So I took my family out into the middle of nowhere. Did a lot of fishing all day.
What'd you catch?
So,
Big rainbow.
rainbow and cutthroat. So I was out there with
That's
with
delicious.
I was out there with my old man and just beat the shit out of him as
A
far
lot
as
of hard years on that old man.
Yeah.
You guys fly fishing?
I do. My dad is I think he's like 75 at this point. He's been telling me for 20 years at least that he's going to learn how to fly fish. He's never done it yet. So every time I go out, he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to get me a rod and start fly fishing. I'm like, you don't have to. This is just what I like to do. You don't have to do what I like to do. Do you?
I feel like fly fishing is for a very specific individual, like more that fall into the alpha beta category, because fly fishing for me has never been something I've wanted to try or do. But I appreciate the art and the guys that are really good at it and do those casting competitions. Coming from a fishing background, I'm impressed. But I just love the disdain on your face as well. It's why I made those comments. But
I think I'm going to say, I believe there's a couple layers to fly fishing that makes it fun. And part of it is collecting and learning about the flies. And like when you open up, a 20-year collection of flies, like that's because I like, I've never thrown a piece of camera gear away. I haven't used some of it in 15 years, but I won't get rid of it because I like looking at it on the shelf when I walk in there. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with flies. It's part of it. You're going to different places. If you're fly fishing, you're going to Montana, Idaho, all these different places. You're walking into these hole-in-the-wall fly shops because it is like a very
item.
Like yeah. And then you're looking around at amazing flies that somebody has built, and that becomes part of the experience as well. I fly fished in Georgia a few months ago, and it was actually pretty fun. I caught 3 fish in like an hour, and it wasn't that hard. I was just like, oh wow.
Yeah, I'm just talking shit. I would love to. I mean, I bass fish. That's primarily what I do, but I would love to go fly fishing. I know it's
I
weird
like
that I've
rivers.
never done it because I've done most all that shit.
Rivers are my favorite body of water.
That's fair.
Clean rivers, by the way, not
Not the LA River.
not East Coast rivers, like
Not
up where you're at, Idaho, Washington State, California, Oregon. Rivers are clear. You see the bottom. Like you start getting down in Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, all this stuff. A river is just brown and creepy.
It's like the LA River. It's the worst river ever because there is no river in the LA River and it's woke. So it's just the worst, worst of both worlds. It's bad.
It's a woke river.
Well, that's because it identifies as a river, but it's not actually a river. It's just kind of dry.
It's a drainage. It's a drainage ditch.
It's a drainage
Concrete.
ditch.
I don't think it's been there for a while. I know there's portions of the LA River that are, but
Yeah, I would imagine. It started beautiful, clear,
Sure.
like every other river. Yeah. So I've been fly fishing I counted this up. The only reason I say this the other day, my daughter was asking me, she's like, well, how long have you been fly fishing? I was like, I started when I was like 12. So I built this rod. It was like 12 or 14. And I started fly fishing then. And I used to fly fish a lot with one of my buddies. He and I were way into it before this movie came out called The River Runs Through It.
Remember that?
And
It made me want to move to Montana, by the way.
yeah, and gamble with Brad Pitt. Go out and go to the speakeasy.
if Brad Pitt wants to gamble, you don't turn that down. You just
You don't
it.
turn that down.
Uh-uh.
You don't turn that down if he wants to kiss either. You know what I mean?
I'd kiss Brad Pitt. I'd 69 him.
sure.
What? Who gets an option to 69 Brad Pitt?
Not very many people.
No. So you
Angelina
gotta take
Jolie,
it?
maybe? Hey, do what you got to do.
So I've been doing this for like 30 years, right? Which makes me feel like super fucking old, by the way. And my daughter was like really upset that she hadn't caught any fish. She was using her spinning rod. She's doing a great job. She's fucking killing it. But she hadn't caught any fish. And my dad, it's like 75, something like that. And I just crushed them both. Like they didn't catch shit for fish. And I was just like,
Did you just brag about beating your elderly father and your child?
Yeah, why not? Sometimes when you're
fishing
better,
is about-
daughter.
yeah,
call the
fishing is
fish.
about shit talking. And my daughter learned that important lesson
No.
this weekend. I would
agree.
be tying on a new lure or a fly for her with her casting bubble. And I'd be like, she's like, well, what's the best fly? What am I going to, what's the best fly? I'm like, the fly that I'm using. She's like, well, let me have that one. I'm like, it doesn't matter. They're the exact same. It's just I'm going to catch more fish because you suck. It's just me teaching her how to shit talk.
Is that all
It's
catch
like,
and release up there where you were?
No, you can, if they're over 14 or 16, I don't know. I typically only keep one a year, depending, right? So if I hook it through the eye, I'll keep it, if it's keepable, and I'll cook it right there on the beach.
Yummy.
Get some really fresh trout.
I love trout sushi.
Yeah, trout sushi is some of the best.
Yeah.
The other sushi that everybody loves is fresh club and tuna fish, and dolphin. I don't know why.
Yeah.
When you club a dolphin, and you can get a really good cut of meat out of that backstrap. That's
But
really
you have to have, that's why we had to have Lucas make us those dolphin shears, because
the
to
dolphin
get through that top blubber piece, it's hard. You have to have a hook.
and to get into that beak meat.
The beak meat.
I personally love bat clubbed blubber baby seal sushi. It's my favorite thing. It's
Interesting.
PETA really doesn't like it, but there's something about that. It's the tenderness of the baby seal. And then when you hit it with a club, it almost tenderizes the meat. It's just very delicious. It's a Chinese, Japanese cuisine.
If you feed your baby seal on strictly CBD kelp, then you have a very relaxed.
You soak the kelp in CBD oil just to really relax and chill it out. It's just like, dude, yeah.
You have a very relaxed piece of baby seal meat.
Yeah, everybody likes a really relaxed baby seal meat. Everybody.
By the way, I read some very interesting philosophy this weekend, and I have been using it.
So Jared is now reading philosophy. Is that correct? Did I just hear that?
So here's what it was. I saw anything worth doing is worth doing poorly, and I was like, I'm down with that. And they were like, if doing something is, if it's worth doing is better, even if it's a little bit, is better than nothing. So I've now gone running 2 days in a row, even if it was just for 2 miles. I'm like, I can suck up the 2 miles for now, but it's better than not running.
I think the application of that statement works in a fitness regard, but not in a professional or hobby regard per se.
it's kind of like puzzle pieces. You just find where they fit and use them for what they for.
So, but you said he did go on a run this morning. He told me, Evan. How far?
And I got 2 miles. I run down to the dirt road on Brant and I come back.
What pace do you think you're doing? 8-minute mile?
Oh, no. Let's be real here. 12 and a half.
So it's more of like a brisk walk.
That's like that's a brisk walk.
And then I'm doing 200 push-ups a day. I'm just changing things a little bit. Yeah.
Really?
So yeah, Ray's got it. Ray was talking to us about how to just incorporate some of these things. So we'll see what happens after 3 weeks. Let's see what I look like.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I love that.
Everything worth doing is worth doing poorly. What I live by.
Matt has a saying he told me when he was out here. He's like, why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? That's like something that
you said that, but yes, I live that every day, every day. Why do today what you can do tomorrow?
Yeah.
Procrastination is the key to success.
I recently have adopted another piece of philosophy that makes my life a lot better is just blame everyone else. Yeah.
That's
so
right. Except no responsibility.
I feel great. It's the opposite of Jocko's, what's he have? Extreme ownership. It's
the B philosophy.
Yeah,
blame everyone else.
There's a yin and a yang to everything. And yes, the yin of Jocko's extreme ownership does work for some people. But for me, blaming everyone else works for me.
Not extreme ownership. Call it extreme blame.
Yes, extreme blame.
Blamership.
Like everything.
Have you been watching Biden talk a lot? Is that why?
I just, but Joe Biden does a really good job of just keeping himself to the positives. When they're like, oh my God, Afghanistan was a disaster. What did you do? It just goes, we rescued 120,000 people. It's kind of like, when Evan and I have had the conversation about, asking someone to park the car and you go out and it's on its roof. And it's like, well, the car is parked.
I like that. So it's having a colossal failure, but then picking one minute positive that was only a positive based off of your creation of a catastrophic event. And then you use that to sway public opinion to make yourself look good. So I could poop in your house and be like, at least I didn't poop in
You're using, you always, so the thing is coming from a marketing, we are marketing experts and we've been in rooms with a lot of other marketing experts, optics experts, people that do this for a living. It is apparent watching him speak that he's being coached by an optics and marketing person that says, we just need you to stay in your box. Stay in this box. No matter what they say, it is, we rescued 120,000 people. Stay in your box.
Yeah. Well, I think the fire department should take some cues from this. Because if they just went out and started setting fires,
and then,
you know what I mean? They're like, listen, we saved 50% of the people in these fires. But then, and a lot of people would just go, good God, that's impressive.
Look at the numbers that they would put up of fires put out. It would be insane.
We put up, out of all the fires set, 300, we put out 150 of these and we saved 50% of the people involved.
All right, guys, January is a real slow fire month. We're going to have to set some buildings on fire.
You've got Elm Street, you've got Cinnamon Street, and you've got Wicker. Let's go get some fires going, boys.
Here's 10 gallons of gasoline and some Molotov cocktails.
I really hope fire chiefs are watching our show right now because this is something that they should adopt.
Yeah. It's a solid business model. I think cops could start pulling themselves over too and be like, listen, we pull out of 50% of the people we pulled over, we wrote tickets to.
Or if the cops coerced the criminals to do the crime, and then kind of like how the FBI operates.
Hey, let's just convince people to do.
Let's convince people to be terrorists, and then we arrest them.
And then we arrest them. We got them. Look at us.
We got them.
Hey, get them, guys.
we could start paying criminals $300 to not shoot people.
San Francisco's trying that one out, and you get a bonus.
Hold on.
Wait, you don't know about that?
Yes.
No.
Oh, dude.
You get a bonus. Give it to him. Tell him about it.
No, I admittedly, so if you're listening to this, don't take it at exact value because I got so frustrated reading the article that I had to stop. Cleon Noir on his Instagram did a little thing on it too, but essentially they're starting, I think it's only like 10 individuals.
It's a pilot program.
It's a pilot
they're
program.
testing it right now.
But they're giving $300
a month
to people that might be a part of gun violence or in gangs or criminal activity to not participate. And the overall goal is to mitigate gun violence.
So if they have selected 10 individuals that were prone to being violent with a firearm. They are paying them $300 a month not to engage in any sort of shooting back and forth tactics. And they can receive up to a $200 bonus for meeting milestones such as getting a job.
That's what I did when I was reading, dude. I was like, I kind of had to just check out. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on.
We're paying people to be a normal human being. We are fucking stupid.
No, it's not us. Like, we're not. We don't live in
technically
San Francisco.
we are. Well,
San Francisco.
If you're paying
California.
Yeah, that San Francisco, like that's just like San Francisco's like
I think they're trying to take
a toilet.
Yeah. It's like an epicenter for just stupid social ideas, experiments. And
I think they want that trophy. I really do. I think they sit back and be like, we want to be the most woke progressive state. We can lose all reason and logic. Let's just do it so we can have this cool trophy. And then it goes back to what we were just talking about, firefighters starting fires. They're like, we're going to get the trophy of being the most progressive state, even though it's going to fucking demolish and is demolishing the state.
I want to check for not shooting people, and I'm owed back pay. It starts when I'm 18. I'm from Marin County.
Yeah.
I need back pay at $300 a month from the time I turned 18 to now. I should get that money for not shooting anybody. Wait, does Iraq count?
No.
No, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I might have to take a couple years off that, but
yeah, I'm not sure. If the government says it's okay to kill, we can.
Even though they might go through with this full recall. Okay. And Larry Elder, I follow him on Instagram for a long time. I love that dude. He's a conservative talk show host. He's a really smart guy, and he's jumping in that mix for governor. And I hope he wins because I'd love to see what he could do in that state.
I don't know. Gavin Newsom's done some incredible stuff.
Incredible.
He's really turned that place around.
His whole family tree is a bunch of great people, by the way.
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi. I just know that they're like, that's his aunt or something like that.
Yeah, his aunt.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get him out.
No, dude. Come on.
When the hell? What's her name?
A family-run organization.
Yeah,
family-run. Senate and governor. It's not corrupt. Come on, man. It's fine.
Not at all.
It's the second largest economy in the world.
In San Francisco, God, what's her name? She's fucking like 100. Yeah, Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah,
her husband owned like some of the most, like a huge portion of Halliburton while she sat on the Senate Armed Forces Committee.
Dude, he didn't own it before we invaded Iraq. He bought it just before. Come on. There's nothing corrupt about that. Dude, come on. There's nothing corrupt about that.
Nothing.
Come on,
I don't know how, it doesn't make sense to me because how do these people have fans? Like, how do they have people that back? I don't even understand the left on this. How do you look at someone like Dianne Feinstein and go, that person is doing a good job?
Jared, just drive around and count how many people are wearing masks in their cars by themselves. And then it all makes sense. Drive around. Just drive around and be like, that person is running in the park with a mask on. And then you're like, oh, okay. I get it now. I get it because it's just like you're by yourself in your car. And how many times do we see that every day? All day.
I wonder,
all day long.
Do you think
see
that
it all the time?
Do you think that there was some politicians specifically on the left that invested in like mask companies, like pre-mid-COVID, and then they're like trying to mandate again? There has to be something with
there's
the PPE.
a lot of money in the PPE like distribution industry. A lot.
Yeah.
Millions, like we're awarding contracts every day. Counties are, government agencies are saying, hey, we're going to supply masks and filters and all this shit from this company. Like the government definitely is taking advantage of that.
When we go skydive soon we should go wear masks together though, because I don't want you guys
We're going to have to wear masks.
I don't want to skydive until our canopies are done.
I don't want to go anywhere without my mask. I don't even want to sleep with my wife without my mask anymore. I put it on the other night when we were procreating.
Why?
Like,
Your
I
wife
get procreate.
looks as hot as she's looking really hot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had tiny, stretchy shorts on the other day.
Yeah. Okay.
What? What are you looking at me? I was
Hey,
over there. She was making breakfast.
She'll be quite happy that you say that.
Yeah. I have to give her a compliment a day.
Yeah. Well, she enjoys it.
You
when
like
people
text her a compliment?
No, I generally just tell him and hopefully that he gets into it.
Or he hits her up on Signal.
Yeah, Signal.
I don't know. I don't think we should be worried.
No, not at all. It's just so you can delete both sides of the text from one of you.
So I'm reading this book on Harry Truman.
This is really interesting.
He is a very fascinating person, actually. So
are we going to talk about nuclear stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. I love this.
Yeah. So
Liked it. Go.
I thought this was really interesting because this is one of these things that's been changed by the current education system in America, which is there's this indoctrinating idea that we dropped these bombs on Japan, these nuclear weapons on Japan because of some type of racist position where they were saying, well, we could have used them on Germany, but we didn't because, and this is from higher education, right? And I've heard this multiple times on different education from we'll call it like places like Evergreen and Berkeley and, these fucking idiot facilities. And they're talking about how the reason we did this was somewhat racist and that we could have done it in Germany. Interesting thing was Harry Truman, it does timelines specifically, they don't line up whatsoever, but he's one of the most progressive presidents we've ever had. So he was very, very adamant about these things will be perceived in history. And he was very concerned about the way that they would be perceived in history. The Germans capitulated. So the Soviets, obviously everybody understands history. We participated in the invasion of France. We met in the middle there in this really cool country called Germany. Everybody's sitting at the same table. It was Churchill, Stalin, and Harry Truman because Roosevelt had died. They were all in Berlin for a post-war kind of conversation. And that's when Harry Truman was notified that the Manhattan Project actually worked, that they got one to blow up and that it was going to be able to succeed. So the timelines don't even work out because they didn't have a bomb prior to the complete overthrow.
How is that coming from educational institutions that have turned away Japanese people because their grades are high and they don't want it? So it doesn't.
Don't bring up facts like that. Don't bring up facts.
And
facts are not relevant in universities anymore. They're not relevant.
Before you and I had this conversation, my initial reaction to not even knowing that the timelines didn't sync up was, well, of course we didn't drop in Europe because it's a lot closer together. And it wasn't like where Japan island, they were all on Japan. We were fighting on the outskirts on properties and islands and everything like that, where it was kind of a way, just from that standpoint, saying, yeah, we probably don't want to drop a nuclear weapon in the middle of fucking Europe because it's going to affect everyone.
Well, not only that, the widely accepted notion with that was we knew an invasion in Japan would cost hundreds of thousands of lives on our side and their
Millions.
side. No, I'm just saying at a baseline, right? Yeah. And so it was,
But the fact that you're even just uncovering the basic piece of information that says, dude, the timelines don't line up.
The timelines don't line up. Like the timelines don't line up. And then there's these few books now that what sent me down the rabbit hole on this was Malcolm Gladwell's Bomber Mafia. And then there's another one.
I keep hearing about that. Is it worth the read, Bomber Mafia? I heard it was awesome.
So good. Yeah, it's so good. Because it talks about the strategy of bombing in World War II and how they shifted from Europe to Japan. And part of the strategy was basically we have to just kill a lot of people. And they started with the idea and this concept that they were going to be able to drop precision munitions from 30,000 feet or something like that into a pickle barrel, which was fucking insane. And they ended up saying, wait, this doesn't work. And we got to fly low as people killed. So we're just going to have to drop bombs on all the cities and kill as many people as we can, because even bombing infrastructure is not working at this point. But maybe we can just win a war of attrition, which that became essentially the bombing doctrine as we shifted our focus from Europe into Southeast Asia, because we just have to win. They knew, by the way, McNamara and a bunch of these other guys had discussed this for several years leading up to this point, that because they were burning cities to the ground in Japan, that if they didn't win, they would be tried for war crimes. They knew that.
Caleb, did you know with Black Rifle Coffee's Coffee Club subscription, you can get fresh coffee shipped to you every month? What? You don't even have to go to the store. Whoa. You don't even have to leave your bed. What? Wow. How did you get in here?
You might want to go ahead and join the Black Rifle Coffee Club subscription before one of these guys shows up at your place.
So they're like, we got to kind of win this thing because I don't want to go to jail or get hung. So, interesting factoid. Harry Truman was a fairly fascinating guy. I always thought he was kind of an idiot. I don't know why. I don't know why. I have no idea. I just kind of always thought that, but he wasn't. He's a really fascinating guy. Now, he's very progressive for the time. He had a bunch of weird initiatives that they put on, like there's the New Deal and the Fair Deal. So the New Deal was a Roosevelt initiative, and then the Fair Deal was a Truman initiative. But I think Roosevelt, because he spent 12 years as president, or, roughly, we'll call it, I think he just kind of overshadowed Truman. But Truman was a World War I vet. He had his battery at his inauguration. So, 1918 to 19, when he actually won his election was like 1948. But he had his original battery on march with them, which I thought was cool as shit. Like the guys that fought World War I with him. Anyway, fascinating book. So if people are interested in it, they might be like, oh, Truman, he was a fucking Democrat. I'm not going to read the book. Dude, come on. It was, 70 years ago. Just, pick up a book.
Yeah.
I heard Bomber Mafia was really good. Totally different subject. I was saying this earlier today, but I watched this weird doc on dogs and how good they can smell. Just bear with me. But I thought it was very interesting because you think about service dogs and how they're trained. I didn't know this shit. Maybe you guys do. They took patients. So they took people, a standard person, and made them watch something really fucking terrifying and scary. And they made them sweat while they did it. And then they captured that sweat. And then they did the same thing to people watching a Disney movie that's undeniably happy and all that. And then they gauged that sweat as well. When they would take a little vial of that sweat and have a dog smell it, the people that sweat while they were scared, the dog ran away and hid in the corner. What? And then when they let the dog smell the sweat of the people that were really happy, it would run to someone just sitting in the corner of the room and be wagging its tail and jump. How fucking crazy is that? That just based off of the sweat, they could whatever pheromone they could smell was directly influencing their behavior. And then, it's an Amazon thing. I think it's What It Is or whatever, but it went into the whole backstory of how we've bred dogs generations after generations to essentially pick the kindest portions of the litter. And that's why they make dogs so special to us, because they have essentially DNA genetically a part of them now to feel love, essentially, or compassion and empathy, whereas a wolf doesn't. It's straight survival. So super, super wacky shit to think about, because I think people go out and go, the wolves are cute, and then they get their face eaten off.
Yeah,
they don't have that little, they don't got that empathy bone in their body.
Yeah. Well, in a world of sheep and sheep dogs, be the wolf.
Yes.
Right. Did you get that from one of them prepper fucking YouTubes?
No, I've been.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I've been watching a lot of like really cool prepper stuff, in the world of Yorkies.
Be the
wolf.
Be the tabby cat.
Be the tabby. Oh, dude. So I thought about this. I haven't thought about this forever, but because we've been talking about so much crazy shit lately, I think our next office style video needs to be Jared and Evan throw a tabby cat
talent show.
A tabby cat talent show.
What's a tabby cat?
Where people are just like,
it looks
what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, we just got tabby cats, like an orange tabby. It's like the orange cat that everybody has.
Okay.
It's just
They have
tabby.
hair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tabby
It's
cat.
just an orange, like Garfield looking cat.
Got it.
You and I are announcers of the Tabby Cat talent show.
Yeah.
And
Ladies and
Greg
gentlemen,
and
welcome
Sandy
back
come in
to-
and they're like, what the fuck are you guys doing, man?
Get out of our talent show.
Get out of our talent show,
You better have a
Sandy.
tabby.
Sprinkles way
These are
off
just-
the catnip.
Yeah, pancakes.
These are just homeless cats you guys brought in. They're
It's
like
like
feral.
cats everywhere. I don't know where we get a bunch of rental cats.
I got.
What do you think the world record for one person in like a standard home of owning cats is? I think
bro,
it's got to be up in the multiple hundreds.
You can go and like, I think there's a bunch of ladies on Hoarders that have just owned hundreds of cats.
Why do you always have to say ladies?
I don't know. I don't know any dudes that own 100.
Super sexist way to
There's
look
a cat. There's a cat. I'm sorry. Women are attracted to cats. Like in a,
I love this statement. Can
They
we make
are.
that shirt?
You should
Women
make that
are attracted
shirt.
to
Women
cats.
women are
cats.
attracted to cats.
Yeah.
Being a cat lady. There's a place in Japan. It's an island called Cat Island.
There is.
You can go vacation there, and it's an island that's been completely overran with house cats.
Yeah.
It's thousands of them, and they pack and they hunt, and you can feed them and you can hang out. I mean, it's a nightmare for me because I'm allergic to cats, but I still, think once in my lifetime I need to experience Cat Island.
I'll go to
Did
Cat
they
Island with you.
issue a hunting license for there? And you got there?
Can you imagine the PR around that? All right, guys, we have to do some wildlife management. We have 300 feline tags. Anything
like-
goes, archery, shotgun, slugs.
Slugs.
And they mistakenly misbooked the same weekend that it's like the middle-aged woman romance novel retreat.
yeah.
And they're all out there.
50 Shades of Grey and cat
Yeah.
appreciation
They're all
retreat.
walking around with their cameras, and,
Yeah.
and we're just
And then the
murdering
hunters
cats.
show up at the same time.
We should
like-
take Matt to the rainforest.
What rainforest are you talking about?
Dude, there's a ton of them.
Oh, dude, I
You
love
ever seen a
rainbows.
map?
Map?
Yeah.
Are you saying take Matt to?
Yeah, we should
Map?
take Matt to the rainforest.
Are you saying map or Matt?
Matt. We take Matt
There's
to
maps
the
and then
rainforest. And the
think-
rainforests are denoted on maps.
You can just use a GPS. You don't even need to take a map anymore.
Yeah, but you
I
can
prefer
look.
a map.
No,
I think it was
there's
four.
a rainforest in Costa Rica we could go to.
I think you could take a map or you could take a GPS. And I think Matt should go with us.
Yeah, we should go take him to the rainforest. Let him experience it.
Wait,
we
do
got
you
to
want to
watch.
take Matt with a map or a GPS, or Matt with just with a map to the rainforest?
There's a
I think we
GPS
should take
right
a
there.
map. I think we should just take a GPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a global penis system? That was a really bad joke, but I had to do it.
We got to take him to the rainforest. He's never been.
How do you know I've never been to a rainforest?
I know you've never been to a rainforest because you've never told me about going to the rainforest. And
Maybe it
anybody
just
that's
didn't
been to
come
a
up in
rainforest
conversation.
knows that they've been to. They talk about it, like
Matt
climbing
doesn't like
Everest.
leaving the state of Texas.
I'm sorry. It's
If
just
there's a
great fucking state.
rainforest, though,
We kind of have rainforest here. It's like
No.
swampy and humid sometimes,
No.
and
no, there's an outdoor
there's
gym
trees.
in the rainforest in Costa Rica that me and Logan went to. They had an outdoor gym.
Oh, I've seen that. Is that the one with like the logs and stuff?
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, but it was on a mountain in the rainforest. So like
I'll
all
go.
the fog was
fuck
there.
yeah.
It was really cool. I think I took a picture of
did you
me
guys see,
pretending
did
to
you
do a
guys
pull-up.
see a picture of Logan's elk?
No.
Yeah.
Did he get one?
sent one.
What did he send it to just you two?
You were in the group.
No, I
photo.
thought
No,
you were
I'm
on the
not.
text string.
No. This must be a different one.
So did he kill anything in Big Chino? Because he was down there. Did you guys see anything?
No, he hasn't really responded. He just said the elk hunt went better than the other hunts. So I didn't know if that meant he couldn't get it, whatever he's going for. Because he's going for muley, right? Or
Yeah, something like that, or a sheep. I'm gonna parakeet hunt tomorrow.
parakeet?
Yeah.
I got a slug. You can go find me a parakeet.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So what else is going on? What else do you guys got going on? We got, I'm not going to answer the question. What else is going on with you guys?
Just
What
living
did
the
you do
dream.
over the weekend?
I had my lovely mother in town, so I was hanging out with Mama Best. That's what I did. And I'm getting stuff ready to move. So that's always fucking fun when you have as much shit as I do.
How many guys you got over there packing up your shit?
It's not full packed yet. It's like going through specifically like my gun room and organizing the thousands of magazines that I have and all of that. So,
Thousands.
and I see that you were a little jealous of my gun room, you know?
I do have a new 6.5 I want to show you guys. Can I go get it?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, your gun room looks pretty epic.
Yeah, it's going to be legit, man.
I think I've convinced my wife that we can move to Bozeman, Montana. So I think we're good with that. Now the company, I don't know if they'll enjoy that, but I mean, I'm going to be great. I think I'm going to be fantastic. I'm going to be living my best life. Maybe just me and Steve Ranella. This is what I have envisioned. Like we're just like setting trap lines and hanging out. You know,
You're just straight like creating an episode of Alone together, just freaking putting snare chaps out and catching bunnies and shooting porcupines.
Man, I don't understand where you got this lotion, Evan. Oh man, it's just melted porcupine fat. Let's loosen up that back, Steve. Let's see what you got.
Oh, he's pulling out the whole
shirt on.
case over here, by the way. He's got a sweet Pelican case. He's got a 6.5. Oh, yeah. I think this is the one I've seen.
So, Matt, I've got a new musician that I've been listening to.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of The Last Knife Fighter?
What? The Last Knife Fighter?
Oh, man.
Yeah, isn't it?
Is that his joke or is it a real band?
Oh, it's so good. So good. He's a Texan. So it's like, what do they call it? Like outlaw country folk or some bullshit? I don't
Outlaw
know.
country.
Yeah.
Texas country.
Dude. So good.
I will listen to him today because I'm always down for a new band, you know?
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it. I've been listening to a lot of Cody Jinks too.
Cody Jinks is great, dude.
God.
That whole style of country, like Tyler Childers, the Paul Cawthons, the Cody
I like
Jinks,
that
like
stuff,
that. I can listen to that in any mood, whether I'm like out hunting, chilling, fucking working out. It's my jam.
I was doing squats today to it. Like Cody Jinks was doing like squats in my little workout area, you know, like feeling good.
I like your
myself.
setup over there. It's really cool.
I'm going to buy a couple more dumbbells next time I'm there, but it is a very nice setup. It's just like little single car. That's a 2-car garage.
It's a 1 car, I think. I don't think it's 2. I don't think you can put 2 in there. No, the thing's tiny.
You've motivated me.
Man, so my back is feeling a lot better. So I've been doing more. So I've been doing squats at least once a week.
Yeah.
And dude, feels so much better right now. Like, I got my blood work back.
Stretch those hips. Oh, nice. Are you in good health?
You know, I mean, I think it's as good as I'm going to get. You know? I think I'm going to try to get another, like, another nutritional consultant about this and try to, I was actually talking, this is not me name dropping at all. I was talking to, Don Jr. on a text string because we were talking about, this Lyme's disease thing. And one of his friends, got it. And he went to get acupuncture at this place in South Carolina. And I guess it cured it. I don't fucking know how. But he was informing me of that. So
I feel like that's one of those things where they don't have the full science to support what treatment methods work for individuals. So it's like, why not go get acupuncture in the slight minuscule chance that it cures you from having Lyme disease for the rest of your life? That would be pretty fucking rad.
Yeah, I've got to get super aggressive with some of this because I really want to eat a steak again. Like I really want to eat a steak again. So I've talked to.
I may never go hunting
I told
in
you I
Montana for
got
that
some
specific
stuff
reason
too.
now.
So I know some people that have been wiping limes out.
Yeah, but you were telling me that, and I was like, dude, I don't want your finger in me. I'm fine with that.
It comes down to what's more important to you.
Red meat or a Jarred finger in you?
I don't understand. Like you're like we're 3 glasses of wine in. We're sharing a bottle of wine here, and Jared's like, I got something in my Cure Lime.
I was not drinking wine.
This just seems weird to me. I don't know why this has anything to do with you loosening up my shoulders, like and using parking.
We do that every other Tuesday in Texas. That's what we do.
It's
called Finger Tuesday. It's just it's like acupuncture, but from a beehole.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
That thing is awesome. Who makes that?
It's Ruger.
Precision.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's great. I went into the gun store in Kerrville and was like, man, I need something that can reach out. And they had this. And I was like, yeah, it was black though. I asked, 6.5 Creedmoor. I asked them to Cerakote it this color though, because I like that better. And
stock on here too.
Yeah, folding stock. Super nice.
Did you see our 6.5 BRCC custom brass, Matt?
I did.
Oh, yeah. I saw the bottom part of that. I think you posted it. Yeah.
I'll send you some.
Please.
The guys from Alpha Munitions sent us over some.
Yeah, I need some.
And
they're out of 6.5 Creedmoor. You're
not when you bought a bunch, when you're smart about it. So
I never had a 6.5. So why would I buy ammo for something I didn't own?
Because I was like, in case I get a 6.5, and then who sent me that? Makes the Sig Cross. They sent me one. I got another one, and then your Nosler 28 should be coming in this week up at Neil's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, guys, like we've been talking about so many guns. It seems weird. Are we trying to? I thought we went woke. Like, are we?
Oh no, we're overcompensating right now.
We're overcompensating now. Is that what it is? Oh, okay, okay. They got us. They got us. I always enjoy hearing a good yarn about us, which I thought was super interesting over the last week. Been traveling. I went up to Idaho, ran into like 3 people in the airport that came up to me and were talking to me like, man, we love the company. It's so interesting. You never run into the people that are like, hey, man, you know,
screw you. I want to give you a piece of my mind. Only on the internet with the safety of your basement.
Yeah, only on the internet. It just doesn't exist. I think that there are so many people that are fired up about the company that it just washes out in white noise. And it's really not even white noise.
Why wouldn't it? It's interesting to me, and I don't think I have self-reflect about give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's like, you know, especially a guy like, you know, Jared and I were doing firearms content before firearms content was really a thing on YouTube. I mean, we're the guys that made Jared, back in like 2014, a Picatinny rail-mounted pocket pussy that jacked you off when you shot it.
That's
you know?
right.
And it's still on the internet. It's still there, and all of that stuff. And it's like the statements of one magazine and or clickbait headlines that are being promoted by specific individuals that have their own marketing agenda for their own product. So let's kill the big bad black guy.
I'm just going to say this, like,
keep doing.
I'm
just going to end with that. For me, is like, I'm just going to keep doing what I've always done. I'm like fucking a gun guy and all that. It's not even defensive at this point. It's just like, I'm going to fucking do whatever I want. And it's a very freeing moment. It's taken me a little while to get there, but I'm just like going back to me.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, the people that wanted to get loud and just whine and piss and moan are all people that what we're doing right here is their only thing. That's it. All they do is get in front of a camera and a microphone and flap their gums. They don't do anything else. There's nothing else to them. So they're the ones. So this is all just traffic grafting. They knew that if they had a good thumbnail and a good title, that it would traffic graph off of people searching for us or looking at our stuff.
It's a real marketing tactic.
You can't fault them for it. I mean, they instead of relying on talent, skill, and good content, they had to rely on a guerrilla marketing tactic to get people to view their stuff. So again, any of you out there that has made this video that you know who I'm talking to, come to the table by all means. Come
hang out.
Come tell me how great you are and how horrible we are and blah and how woke we are. It was really funny because I
literally I even said that earlier. I was like, if I'm going to be at SHOT Show, if it goes down, and if any of those people want to have a beer with me and actually talk like offline,
they will.
I welcome it, man.
They will
Like,
be
I welcome it.
cowards because every last one of them that I've spoke to one-on-one in text and everything like that, their demeanor is entirely different than what their demeanor is when they get in front of a camera. And for those that still keep saying you were sitting next to a guy that wanted to dox Alex Jones. Well, guess what? Alex Jones hit me up last week and he wasn't mad as you are.
No.
He was actually like, you need to come on the show and we need to have fun. Like, let's battle. Let's do whatever. It's entertainment.
Yeah, I don't think people know that these are people we know. Like these are people we know that we're familiar with, and not only familiar with, we talk to and we text, and it's just weird. It's weird because I got it from guys who were like, I can't believe you guys would do that. And it's like, dude, we didn't do anything. It's Dan. Dan is really good friends
with Alex.
And he was talking shit to his friend.
He was just talking shit.
Like that's the thing. When people came to me, I'm like, I would never dox anybody, not even say that, because like I know my personal life, and I've had plenty of death threats from lots of people, like a lot of woke progressives on the left over the years, ISIS.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I prefer to keep my family safe. And that's why I carry a gun everywhere I go. But like, I ain't doing that to somebody, even if I fucking hated someone.
No
that had
one's
their
ever,
address,
and also Dan
shit.
wasn't referring to his house either. He's referring to the news station. Like he said studio. Like,
whatever.
It's just,
Hey, Dan, congrats to him, man. He's been on Tucker like twice in the last week. So he must be saying something right.
Killing it. And he got on there with an ACAP.
I know. Hashtag ACAP. Yeah.
Shirt, which is great because I saw the Twitter threads of people going, what is this APAC shirt that he's wearing?
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious, dude. It was awesome. Like, congrats to Dan.
Dan is like a professional troll. Like, he's really good at it in like a good way.
Yeah.
He's very smart and he can speak well. Like, and he doesn't let people steer him either. Like, Dan is really good at knowing when someone is trying to walk him away from a thought, or somebody would be like, stop. Like, I mean, he just had the old White House press secretary or somebody from the old White House hang up on him the other day because Dan was just
on
like,
the show?
Is this how you fucking operate? Like, you ask me a question, you don't even let me fucking talk. Like, let me answer the fucking question, you idiot. And the dude fucking rage quit. It was hilarious. I love it.
Was that on the show?
Yeah, it was on the show.
I think people forget it's entertainment. Cool. I loved Rogan's outlook on that stuff too, because it was like, how many podcasts we've done over the years. Like, I've said some stupid shit that I probably don't even agree with myself at, because we run our fucking sucks. We're not like political pundits. We're a bunch of 3 dudes that started a coffee company and talk shit.
Here's the difference between me and a lot of others. I'm willing to have my mind changed if you present a valid argument. Yeah. So I could be one way right now and say, fuck this. But if somebody comes in with an intelligent perspective, because we're not right. That's the thing. None of us are right. Everybody is convinced that they're right. Everybody in their own head is, I wear a mask because I'm right. And because the things I read were right. Well, that flips the exact same way. I don't wear a mask because I'm right. What I read saying anti-mask is right. It's like, fuck off. If you present a good counter argument with information of a perspective that I did not think about, I'm willing to be like, actually, I'm with you.
One thing I know that I'm right about is the dude building my 20 millimeter needs to hurry the fuck up. It's been like a fucking year.
Over a year. You announced it over a year ago.
Hurry the fuck up, asshole.
Oh.
I want it. I want to put it on the back of my Chevy. I want to shoot it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Right.
I'm super excited because we have one of my favorite coffees I think I've ever been part of the design.
Pink 79?
Well, Pink 79 was the last ECS. We're doing an LTO, which is called Circus Bear.
Oh, yeah, Circus Bear.
Oh, Circus Bear.
On that note,
Such
too,
a good design.
For everybody that purchased the LTO, the missile, thank you. That sold out real quick. The coffee is amazing, and you help support an amazing cause that pretty much aligns service dogs with former special operation guys and puts them together.
You did something with your sales? What the fuck is wrong with you, you woke fuck?
Yeah.
God. Just stick to
Benefited
selling
somebody
coffee
else.
and being funny, dummy.
Yeah. That's right. I had, there was some guy that pinged me a few times over the weekend. Was like, I think it's bullshit. You guys aren't doing anything over the Afghan refugee thing. And I was like, oh man,
read Coffee or Die, dummy.
I was like, man, we've been posting nonstop about this. Where can people go to support the initiative? We had 3 people working full time that were company resources, basically full time. We had 2 guys stationed at Dulles ready to go overseas for a week. And they were directly connected in with a lot of the tactical operations centers from people that were working overseas, trying to put together the NGOs with some of the funding so they could get private planes in and out.
And I'm sure a lot of you guys
funded a plane coming out of Mazar.
Well, Evan, first off, let's level the playing field here. Don't be fooled. Yes, you saw 600 GoFundMes fly up, but there was no plan. They had no resources, no people on the ground. You had a lot of people collecting money that now everyone's going to forget about this week. And where that you have a Brian Colfage situation who said, I'll build the wall and raise his $22 million. And now he's in jail. So don't sit back and judge us by not doing that. Like you were directly, all of you guys were directly attributed to people in Wally, directly attributed to commanders and people in Afghanistan, like just because it wasn't right here saying.
Well, the thing that people have to realize, and I can't speak fully on this because this shit's still developing, but on an individual basis, I know you guys have been doing stuff and I've been working almost every day, talking with friends that have the correct resources. The problem is you have to realize when things go public and senators and other people get involved, the State Department becomes aware. When the State Department becomes aware, shit doesn't happen. People get fucking grounded and they're sitting on tarmac trying to get the fuck into a foreign country and they can't. And that's why you got to shut the fuck up about this stuff. And we're working on it as much as we can. And again, it's to Jarred's point, it's very confusing, the information, because you hear one thing here, one thing there, and then you try to vet organizations as far as giving money to them to really support individuals getting out, but then you can't always vet those people. So you're like, where's my money going? Are they filling the pockets of these fucking evil people that are using this tragic environment to fill their pockets? You don't know. So it's one of those things it's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks to kind of sift through this stuff as it progresses. But
and there's going to be a the amount of information and the amount of information and logistics, to your point, that was being organized by multiple different entities. You have to vet it, and that takes time. You can't just go, oh, well, Joe Shit the Ragman stood up a GoFundMe. Let's just send him some money. You have to vet.
I'm sure you got that. I got plenty of texts hey, I need 20 grand right now. I'm like,
oh yeah,
you got to talk to me. Where are we at? Who's there? And we're
we have an immigration attorney that works with the Afghan refugees that work for Black Rifle Coffee. That guy was working directly with our HR department. They were making sure that their special immigrant visa paperwork was submitted, maybe different avenues, because paperwork, that's the other thing. Everything runs on paperwork. So people have to, it's like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the book from 30 years ago. You basically get out of anything if you have the right piece of paper. That's what it reminded me of. People have to make sure that they have the right documents submitted, because the other point is if they don't have the right paperwork and they land in a country where they could be turned around, what's going to happen? So you not only have to vet the organization, the people that are associated with it, but also make sure that the correct paperwork has been submitted. A few things out there that were floating around over the past week was people condemning Kennedy for his actions. It's you know what? Kim was out there trying to do something for the people that he cared about, and he was directly working on his own time.
Doesn't have to do it.
Directly working with the people that he knew. So, he went out there with a group of other people. on his own dime to try to do something that was directly benefiting the people that he cared about to get them out. Sometimes this stuff doesn't go perfect. Like when you're in a very chaotic, somewhat, there's a bit of anarchy out there as well.
I think a
you got
perfect
to work
example
through
for
multiple
that.
systems, and it's not always going to be 100%. But
When Jericho
the thing
wrote
is, he was trying.
his story about conditions at the latter part of us pulling out, you have a guy that's like fucking legend essentially in Ranger Battalion saying these are the worst conditions he's ever seen.
Yeah.
Like if you have the context, I think that paints a very vivid picture of how shit was on the ground, because I wasn't there. You know, I can make assumptions. I have a background there. I've been there, but I wasn't there in this specific instance. But when you hear a guy like that, like this is fucking terrible. I think people need to realize how complex that is. And then everybody naturally, just being a human, is going to look out for their own best interests as far as getting out the people that they care about and all of that. And sometimes that cross paths, and it's a fuck situation no matter what.
And then you also have to understand that the communication barrier between a lot of different agencies that have been working over there for years, that people that the Afghan counterparts that were working for the agency and other 3-letter agencies and things like that aren't necessarily going to show up on the conventional roster of this guy was an interpreter. So there's a lot of communication issues that come there. So where you're claiming, oh, you know, you're rescuing the wrong people or dumping. No, there's just a communication breakdown there.
There's no infrastructure to support.
Well, you get
Government fuck.
Yeah. I mean, which I've said it multiple times. I don't disagree with the withdrawal. I disagree with the way that the withdrawal was coordinated and executed. And people need to be held accountable for that. Like the responsible parties have got to be held accountable for that. So we talked about it a ton. Hopefully that clears up a few things, a few points that people like, no shit, people sent me that were very professional, very polite. Like, hey, can you talk about this? I have no problem talking about some of this whatsoever. It's that talking about it and then understanding, like to Jared's point that he was making earlier, trying to get an overarching view on what's happening so we can organize some information so we can put out legitimate information. That takes time. It's not just, you just can't just snap your fingers and shit it out, which is different than, I would say there's a lot of people out there that are just spewing opinion that quite possibly have zero. They're not liable for any of it. They just can throw out their opinion. We actually have Afghanis working for us. So we have to be also sensitive to them and their families as we're working through this, because we also don't want to highlight some of those people so they become targets. So this is it's been a very complex thing that we've really dedicated a lot of time, energy, resources, and money to. It's not been insignificant for us whatsoever. But I think as the weeks unfold, there'll be a lot of need for the refugees once they do land. To your money will be spent in, and I think a very concerted effort will be applied to making that a good transition. Land them, get them here, integrate them into the country. The people that have been interpreting and working directly with the mill, I think they're going to be a positive addition to the American fabric. Which sounds pretty political, but that's really what it is. They're going to be a positive integration, or at least there should be. I hope there is. I think you've got a lot of competing opinions with people that have never been there. They've never been there and they've never done anything like this, nor have they ever, not only have they never worked there, they've never.
Even people they know, no one's ever done something like this.
Yeah.
This is new.
This is new. This is new territory.
So
all right.
What is Circus Bear before we wrap this up? I want to know.
Circus Bear is a limited time offer coffee that myself, Edwin, and Matt Leviner, a bunch of other guys from Black Rifle Coffee, we developed the roast profile. I put out the roast notes a little bit later. It's a beautiful design. It's a wonderful coffee. You guys are going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. So look out for Circus Bear. Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah.
That concludes today's training. Any questions?